Well, I figured since there's a code red here at the BMW Championship, I figured it'd be time to make this video real fast. So, in case anybody was wondering, I hear a lot of people always say about, can I work for EA and work for DLS? Can I work for DLS and work for EA? I've worked here, etc., etc., etc. So, real quick, just to go ahead and just clear it out right now, you have to work for DLS first. Because if you don't work for DLS first, whenever you go through your hiring process, the staffer will ask you, have you worked for EA before? If you say yes, then you're automatically taken off. And obviously, you can always lie and say you have not, but if one of those EA staffers see you at one of the DLS events, they will call you out on it, and then you will be most likely fired. Because DLS does not want to deal with the fine. I've heard from different people that there's a fine for a non-compete. I'm not going to say specific numbers, but I heard there is a fine for the non-compete contractor or whatever, etc. So pretty much what you'll do is you'll work for DLS first. When you work for DLS, when it comes to different events, so you can work any EA event you want. So the only thing is with the EA events, it cannot be an event, you cannot work for EA if it's a DLS event. Now, for example, for this event right now that I'm doing, for BMW Championship, for example, DLS is not here. It is EA and Spectrum. You could work this event for EA if you're an employee of DLS, because DLS is not primarily staffing this. They're not staffing it at all. But for example, if you worked EDC Orlando, which is staffed by DLS, you have to go through DLS. If you do not go through, you cannot go through EA if you work for DLS and you're trying to go work a DLS event. So you can work any EA event you want to, as long as that EA event is nowhere near DLS. So you can work, if any event is staffed by DLS, you have to work through DLS. You cannot go through Event Aces. But that's pretty much it. It's a pretty easy thing to follow. So yeah, I mean, personally, I would recommend, if you want to work for both companies, I'd recommend working through DLS first, just because that way you can work for EA afterwards, as long as it's not an event staffed by DLS. If you've already worked for EA, don't really worry about getting on for DLS. EA will take care of you when it comes to working events, as long as you show that you're a good worker. There's plenty of staffers for EA to reach out to. They're all great people. So I wouldn't worry about trying to get on for DLS if you've already have good connections with EA, because you'll most likely be put on those events as well.